Welcome to the Disney Hour Express podcast. I'm Abby.
And I'm Rob. We are two hopelessly romantic Disney enthusiasts,
Sharing fun stories, secret tips, and family travel experiences.
If you are a Disney newbie, or maybe a season pass holder, we hope you find this information helpful.
We turned our love of Disney into a unique boutique travel agency that books Disney and Universal vacations.
We've got a lot of stories, so cozy on up, choose your favorite drink,
Whether that be a cocktail or a hot chocolate,
and enjoy the Disney Hour Express.
Hey, Pioneers. Welcome back to the Disney Hour Express. What is this, episode 130? It's your fast track to all things magic and memories. Today's episode, sorry, can't talk anymore, is a big one. It's reflective, honest, and probably one of the most important ones we do all year. We're wrapping up our family Disney adventure and sharing what we really thought of our trip, like this most recent one. Since we go to Disney annually, we've got plenty of past experiences to compare, and this one had some unique twists. We test drove the Disney dining plan, a first for us. We stayed at a top tier resort for the entirety of our stay instead of split stays, and we tried out one of Disney's water parks for the first time, and we even took a shorter trip so we could afford all the full non-discounted Disney experience. Was it worth it? We're going to dive in and find out together.
Now, thank you for that great intro. That was very, very well done.
It was well thought out. Thank you.
You have a great voice. I love it. Please read that to me as we're going to bed tonight. Our family trip at this point was more than a month ago, right? It's quite a few days. We had our surprise trip to go to Mickey's Not So Scary just a couple of weeks ago.
That's right.
Even though it kind of seems like it's been a month.
It does. It seems like it was a long time ago, but
that's
really
what happens when kids start school and your schedules change.
Insane.
Yeah. So you just kind of, time flies at that point as a parent. So we're trying to go back, and it was this morning we were trying to I don't remember what we did, and I'm going through pictures and things and trying to remember all that stuff. We have some of it. Obviously, we could have just listened to our podcast because we went over to it, everything, but I can't listen to my voice for that long. I don't know how you guys do it.
It's because they love us.
Yeah.
That's all.
Well, maybe. Maybe they do. I think maybe they love you. They tolerate me. So let's just get down to it.
Dive in. Listen, I woke up this morning and Rob was like, I made a spreadsheet. And I was like, what? I'm like one of those people who lives in spreadsheets. I love them. They make sense to me most of the time. And I was just so... I fell in love again and again with Rob because he was using a spreadsheet.
Yes, and I just found sometimes, you need a little bit of wine, some music and stuff. I could just bust out a spreadsheet.
And I'm like, yes.
Let's talk finances.
Budget.
So yeah, we did go over that, and we'll get to the dining plan. That was what my spreadsheet was for. We're teasing that, and we're going to talk about was it worth it? Did it work out for us?
Correct. Which is just so interesting. It's so interesting to think about that.
Yeah.
So where are we going to start?
So let's start with questions, right? We got questions that we want to answer. Now, mind you, Abby and I haven't spoken in a month.
I mean,
so that we
just don't do that.
These things don't come in topic. And I'm joking when I say that, but I will say that there's certain times when I want to ask her or talk about a part of our trip, and I'm like, I should probably save that for the podcast. So it does change how we communicate sometimes, at least for me.
Oh, yeah. Maybe I don't think about it.
Yeah,
I
was going to think. Yes, I think that sometimes happens, but.
Sorry.
Okay. What was, of all the park days, what was your favorite park. And I have to say park days because there was a day where we went to two parks. We park hopped for the first time.
So, gosh, it's so hard because individually, like, I loved where we were at Animal Kingdom. But was it my favorite day? No, not so much. Maybe. That's so hard. It's so hard because usually it's like hands down Hollywood Studio is my favorite day.
Yeah.
But I think this time around, maybe it was Magic Kingdom.
Okay.
Excuse me. I think we tried to do new things in Magic Kingdom this year, and I felt like we were super organized, not organized. Like there were parts of our day where I think we're being really specific about not being over planned. But we tried out so many new things that it just became like a day that I was like, yeah, this is great.
And those new things being like we actually took the kids on the People Mover, which for most of you probably sounds insane because everyone goes on the People Mover, but we never fit it into just the budget of time for the day.
Right.
And so at this point, we were like, well, we're in Tomorrowland and we got, 10 minutes. Let's go to People Mover.
But we also went to the Main Street Confectionery, which we always pass by and say, that smells good. And we look at the pictures in the window.
I think that's one of the things that we never really stop on Main Street, except to go to the Emporium.
Right.
Because that's where the kids, everyone wants to do their gift shops, right? Their shopping.
Yeah.
We never really go to any of the other places, which is kind of crazy. The confectionery, we never go to the Plaza ice cream parlor.
Yeah. So this was like and to me, it was
like we never really go anywhere.
It was such an important little part of our trip because we got to stop, get this specialty popcorn that the kids were like so into, and we sat down on a bench and just like people watched with them, which I think you and me on an adult trip, that's something we would do. But we got the opportunity to do it with them, take a breath, and then we went to the Starlight Parade, which was also new for us. We don't often stay for parades in the evening, and now we're like,
well, it's the first time there's a parade in the evening
in a long time.
Yes, but we normally don't really stick around for parades in general.
Yeah, in general.
Yeah,
we're always busy going on the rides and whatnot. So this was really cool. It was a really cool experience. I'm telling you, like parades, like you just like forget about the people around you completely because you're so immersed in the experience of seeing everything that's going on. Like I'm clicking through the pictures of the parade right now and it's beautiful. It was a really beautiful parade. So that was exciting. I mean, we had to deal with a couple of things during that day, but I still think that it came out to be my favorite day. Yeah.
Okay.
How about you? What was your favorite day?
Well, mine's Magic Kingdom. For the Halloween party. For Mickey's Not So Scary. I'm including that.
But that wasn't on this trip.
Well, but we were talking about all the trips.
Oh, interesting.
Sorry if I did not specify those qualifications.
Well, that doesn't make any sense, but okay. Got it.
Okay, well, fine. I won't talk about. Well, I have to talk about it.
But you can't because it's on our family trip, our annual family trip.
I know, but that was kind of like the extension of our annual family trip.
Definitely not, because we didn't include it in the budgeting or the spreadsheet or anything.
Because it wasn't on the dine plan. Yes, I agree. Okay, fine. But no, I did really enjoy. And I would say if I'm looking just at those that we took our trip in, I really couldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to choose like a favorite day necessarily, because they all had their ups and they kind of had their ups and downs, and their ins and outs, and so it would be hard. I thought they all kind of worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did. They all worked. They all worked great. So that was good.
So it was kind of hard for me to differentiate one from the other. What was your least favorite park day?
Well, so that's the thing is like it wasn't like a least favorite. I wasn't like, oh, this day sucks, because it
Okay.
definitely didn't. I think that usually, like I said, I love Hollywood Studios and I still loved it, but I felt like we missed out on so much at Hollywood Studios that it didn't like make it into my top place. Like
You feel like we missed out.
Indiana Jones,
Okay.
missing going like hanging out in Star Wars longer. Like usually we're there a little bit longer and see a little bit more cast interactions.
Okay.
I mean, it didn't feel like a full Hollywood Studios day to me. Even though we saw Fantasmic and we saw a beautiful rainbow, we went on the Tower of Terror. I mean, we did all these great things, but it was like the oldie stuff that I was like, oh wait, but you know.
Now here's a bigger question: is do you think that our least favorite day is our last park day?
You know what? Because that seems to be consistent,
right? Because we would normally, typically, for those that haven't listened to our past years, we typically go to Epcot our last day, and it always ends up like we're like,
done.
You know, I'm expletive you Epcot. Yeah, so there's always like factors that go. One year we all had COVID and we didn't realize it till like that day or something. There's a lot of stuff going on, but typically this year, it was Hollywood Studios, and it's funny because I'm going back through my mind and like I enjoyed like being on the rides. Like I liked all the rides, and I think they worked out very well, and the food I thought was interesting. We tried new foods, but for some reason, it's like because we didn't go on Indiana Jones, because we didn't make Under the Sea, the Little Mermaid show. Because of it's really those two things. Like we really kind of did, I think, everything else besides maybe having a little more time to hang out. And I know. Besides that, I feel like we did everything, but for some reason, it's still kind of like, that's probably my least favorite.
Because I mean, so if you think about it, our last Hollywood Studios trip, we just had these like really fun, unique experiences where everything just kind of like magically happened, right? We didn't have Oga's Cantina reservations our last trip, and then we're just walking by, and they're like, "Hey, you want to go to Oga's?" And then like we were standing at the bar with like the most amazing bartender cast member, and then it's definitely stormtroopers coming. So it was just like this magic kiss of boom, 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 and then like you walk out and see more.
That was such a different experience, and going to Oga's when it's completely almost completely empty versus when it's like packed, everyone's standing everywhere, and you're just,
So maybe that would be part of my suggestions. Like, I know like 9:30 is a weird time to go to a bar, but like it's cool. I mean, it was such a great experience. You get the best of the cast members. And even standing there this time, I saw that same cast member and I felt like a little pang, like, aw, I know she has no idea who I am, but she's in our family photos from last year. And like
we wanted to show her. We were here last year, and she was like, oh, great.
So I didn't enjoy our Ogas, not because of, I mean, I didn't enjoy my drink there either, but I just felt like standing where we were standing, and like it felt rushed and I don't know. So yeah, there were certain elements of it where I was like, this doesn't feel magical. I still loved it. I loved all of it.
Yeah.
But like the kids didn't really play with the robot there. So it's not all about the Oga's experience, but it was just different. Maybe the rain at the end of the day made it different, and I don't know.
Made it a little bit. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Now here's a follow-up to the Hollywood Studios Day. Do you feel that it's necessary for us to go and see Fantasmic every time we go to Hollywood Studios?
No. And so this time was like the time where I was just like, it's a good show, but we saw the same show last year and the year before.
Yeah.
And
no, it was the second time for the kids.
But I feel differently about Indiana Jones.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like
right?
Indiana Jones, I want to see every year.
Yeah.
So
But it's a lot
why
easier.
is it?
I think it's because of because Fantasmic is the same, right? And it is great to see.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's just something going into that you have to, it's especially how we've been doing it. And it's such like a time suck that you always know that like I'm going to be sitting here for like
30 minutes.
30 to 40 minutes sweating
death.
and just kind of like uncomfortable. And like, I don't want to get up to do it. Like, I don't even want to get up to go look at snacks, go to like, yeah, it's always going to be hot and it's always going to be that. So I think just going into that, you figure, is it worth it sitting through there? I think the kids were fine more often than not, but it's like the end of the night, you're tired. Being that Hollywood Studios was at the end of our trip, then it just kind of makes it a little more tiring. And then sitting there for a show that you've seen before and that you love the spectacle of. I kind of feel like it's not as definite a must as
next time. Like I much more enjoy sitting on my posh balcony seeing partial fireworks, from afar. But like in the comfort, like we're all comfortable and relaxed and not, sitting weird on our seats so that we have space throughout the whole show. It's not a territorial thing. It's like a comfort. And
I would I think one thing that would make it so much more comfortable is if it just had backs on the seats. If you were able to just like lean back, I think you would be okay with sitting there for that amount of time.
But that's also, so sorry to interrupt that thought, but that's also one of my other thoughts is if we do see Fantasmic, like, do we necessarily need to do the whole package and get the priority seating? Because I feel like anywhere you sit is going to be nice.
Yeah, I don't necessarily agree with that. I feel like if you're in the wings of that theater, you're just not seeing the projections. So I think that kind of like you're seeing water spray and stuff, but I think you're missing a lot.
No, I mean, because for the dessert party now that they do there or that they have done there, it's like all the way at the top.
Yeah.
And it's not close. But also, it's spacey.
Yeah. But I don't think that's a thing they normally, I think that was just something that, I think they did that like as a VIP travel agent, right? Because I don't see it offered. I've looked. Yeah. I don't see a dessert party offer, but yes, that's all the way up before. But I still think, I don't know, if you're at the end of that theater on either side, I think you're just missing so much just because you're not seeing the scope of them moving across that building. Yeah. I think if you're there early enough, you could still get in and see if you're sitting next to where the very center section, I think that those are good seats. Yeah. Then just as you get further out. So I think if you show up to Fantasmic, don't be like super late. Don't show up at 9:25 and expect a good seat. Yeah. So, or whatever, the exact time, Fantasmic time change as the seasons, the times adjust, the darkness adjusts. Okay. So that was kind of our favorite.
So that's so surprising. I mean, it's surprising to me that Magic Kingdom is our fave and Hollywood Studios was not. That's so different for us. Yeah. All right.
What was your favorite meal of the trip?
Oh my gosh. Still Garden Grill. Because, I mean.
Uh-oh. She's rethought about it.
Now I'm like rethinking.
She's going back and forth. She's like,
still
really
Garden
like
Grill.
Why?
Like, because
really
it feels like a private experience.
Okay.
Where you're seated, especially if you have a party of 4 or more, you usually get kind of booth seating and you're facing out and the characters are coming to your table and you can't really see other tables. You can hear them and everything. Yes. It makes it feel like a private experience every single time. I've never had an experience there. I mean, during COVID, they would have the characters come up behind you. That was like a little like, oh, this is not as great. But so good, and the food's pretty good. That mac and cheese was amazing.
The butter, as we all know,
the butter. Oh, you can't get over the butter.
Gotta love the butter.
I don't know. I really enjoy Garden Grill. I think it's because it does feel private. Yeah. So how about you?
I would say, well, we're kind of taking things away now because we're not talking about our jaunt.
No,
Because
we
I
can't
would
because
have
it
said
doesn't.
1900 Park Fair.
Well, yes, that's a different trip
That was a
completely.
different trip.
1900 Park Fair is
So I
totally worth
think
it. Every
I
penny.
would go for. I think I liked Hollywood and Vine better.
Okay, and why?
Somewhat. And there's kind of weird things. And the reason the Garden Grill this time, I felt very stuck in my seat. Like I just felt like I didn't feel like there was any leg room, like underneath that 4-person table with everyone there. And like
there was like a pole or
like
something.
I couldn't stretch out. Like I don't know. And then, I mean, obviously I'm not going to get up and start just walking around the place. The food, but I did, Hollywood and Vine, you have a little bit more flexibility it's sometimes easier to get up and out of those seats. Sometimes it's not. It's still the way their setup is. But I think I did like the food.
Yeah.
I like the food at both places. And we're just talking about the all you can enjoy places, right? That's where we mostly had table service.
Yeah.
So I did like that experience. Food plus experience plus space in my seat, I guess, added up to maybe being Hollywood and Vine. What was your least favorite meal? And then I'm going to ask you, I should say this. What was your least favorite table service meal?
Probably, I mean, food-wise was Crystal Palace, but I thought everything else was lovely. Loved the characters, loved where we're sitting. It was like beautiful. Their food just was not yummy at all. Yeah. I mean, because I don't really have any like negativity about anywhere in particular that we ate. I guess if we're talking about
we're going to talk about quick service.
Quick service, yeah.
We're talking about quick service, so that was just your table service.
Yeah, it just wasn't. It didn't hit the food.
And I only say this because it's important. We did an extensive in our dining plan series, which you could go back and listen to if you haven't heard it. We basically covered where you can go to eat at the dining plan in all the parks, and we went over all the table service and quick service restaurants, and then we were actually trying because we don't traditionally try quick service locations.
We don't.
I'd say my least favorite experience of a table service was like I wasn't really feeling Ohana.
Yeah.
Even for breakfast, it just didn't, and it's not in a park, it's in a resort, right? It's in Polynesian, but it just, I don't know, the food really didn't hit me, and I thought the table setups are very strange and it felt very congested to where the characters are coming in.
Yeah. Like you couldn't get a nice photo of the character with your kids or whatever because there's chairs everywhere.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I like about Garden Grill is like you don't have that. You have a nice background.
Yes. Because everything, the way the windows are, so if you're not sitting along the window, and they kind of come in between the tables there. So if you're sitting not on the window, you need to go to take a picture. It's like all blown out because of the amount of light that's coming through the windows on a sunny day.
Yeah.
So then you kind of have to like go over to another. It just seemed like a lot.
Yeah. It's so funny. Every single photo I see, there's like a chair in the way, and then there's like it is. And I've recalled that being like a complete issue for sure. I could see how the food didn't really gel with you. I get that. I think
and I've actually heard that a lot recently. They were just saying that Ohana is kind of the buzz on Ohana for a restaurant that's been around forever. It's kind of like it's losing favor, I guess.
Gotcha. Yeah, I get it. They need to. I think they're trying to like get all the paying for their buck there, and that's kind of what it feels like. We had some awkward interactions there too. I felt like our server was a little bit awkward. He went a little bit too far with the IDing us with our card. He was like, "Oh, are you?"
I still couldn't tell. Yeah,
if he was serious or not.
Yeah.
Like, and it was just because he wanted to ID us for the alcoholic beverages, but then he didn't, but then he did, and then he did. And so we were like, wait, are we joking still?
Yeah,
like, we're not really sure. Because no problem, I'll whip it out. But why is this taking 5 minutes to have this joke conversation going? You know, it was very weird.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So,
yes, I do remember that as well.
Yeah.
That kind of just being, and he was a very nice guy.
Yeah.
Very nice server.
Sure.
Very nice gentleman. You know, the food came out when he checked on us and everything else. It was just like there were like these little interactions. And then Bailey was, because she has what we believe is a pineapple allergy.
Yes.
And then that just caused an issue because the bread, right, the Ohana bread that they bring out it has bread,
has
right?
pineapple.
It has pineapple
in
in it. So I want to make sure she didn't eat that.
But it was like already too late. She had already eaten it because they don't say anything. Like they just give it to you and you're like, well, what's this?
Yeah.
So anyways, yeah, I could see that too, not being like a fave for sure.
What was your favorite quick service meal?
Backlot Express. I was really into that teriyaki chicken bowl. It was everything I had ever dreamed of.
Oh.
Like they did a great job. Yeah.
Amazing.
I know. I don't have any negative about it. I was so surprised at how good it was that I was like, I could eat every quick service meal here. And I'd be happy. If every quick service had that teriyaki bowl, it's like got your protein, it's got edamame, it's got the rice. Perfect.
Okay. All right. The chef's kiss.
What was your favorite?
Yeah, that was kind of something I've been thinking about. And as far as like the actual quick service meals, I didn't really care for any of them.
Yeah. I mean, I understand that.
Like I obviously I ate everything. Because you're hungry, you're gonna eat, right? But there was like nothing really like stood out, and I was like, oh, I really want some of that again.
Yeah.
So there's some other things I'd like to try, right? There's still like we kind of wanted to go to ABC Commissary as opposed to Backlot Express. Maybe we would like that. Yeah. Maybe I wanted to try that buffalo chicken thing. I think it's a buffalo grilled cheese now that I say that. But anyway, and that's just Hollywood Studios. I don't know. I'm never really a big fan of Cosmic Rays. It has food.
It was terrible. Yeah. That would be my worst.
So that's kind of like, so we'll combine our that was your worst.
Oh, yeah.
You think?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It was so gross.
Gotcha.
I was bummed.
Yeah. So that was bummed. Now, do you remember having a favorite snack?
I don't remember the snacks. Did we have snacks?
I'm going to tell you what it is. I know what yours is. It was the tachos.
It was the tachos. Thank you. But it's so funny because I would think of that as like a meal.
Because it's a lot, right?
Yeah. The tachos were great.
Yeah.
I just looked up a recipe on how to make them today.
Oh, I'm into it.
I know.
Get me excited.
So good.
Oh, my mouth's watering just thinking about them. So that, just so we know, those tachos are served at Woody's Lunchbox in Toy Story Land and Hollywood Studios. So you could go back there and it's a big meal. It's like there are tater tots and there's pulled pork and I think there's chili in it and just a lot of goodness.
I would be like pro having that for like lunch.
Like a big, Woody's Lunchbox in general has pretty good food and good portions.
Yes.
Of things, and I think it's kind of worth going back there if you're in Hollywood Studios. I definitely recommend it. Just they have all types of melts and things that you can get throughout the day. They have a good breakfast bowl that's available in the morning. I think it's kind of worth it.
Yeah.
What was I forget, did we say, we said snack. I want to go back to my least favorite. I kind of skipped over my least favorite quick service meal.
You did, because you were like, I don't like any of them.
Well, yeah, kind of, but the one I liked the least was Connections Eatery.
All right, what did we get at Connections Eatery?
That was
Oh,
just like,
yes.
we
Oh,
just got
that.
like chicken sandwiches.
You're so right. I couldn't eat the chicken sandwich there because it was so chewy and hard. Like I couldn't
Yeah.
even bite into it.
Now, mind you,
Oh.
there's a little bit of an asterisk, so I would give it another chance, only because we had ordered it strangely, because our lightning lanes for Soarin' it was so backed up in lightning lanes, it took so much longer, so that I had to like say we're here, prepare my food right at the end of our window, which I realized I could have just not done that
Yeah.
and just gone there and told them. But I didn't. I was just like in line. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to hit it now. We should be off Soarin' in about 10, 15 minutes. It ended up being like 20, 25 minutes. And so that means the food was just sitting there like under a warm lamp for a while.
Mhm.
So like it wasn't warm, or it wasn't as hot as it could be.
Yeah.
And like even like the drinks were a little bit warmer. They weren't, because we had gotten adult beverages. They weren't cooled, like they weren't in like a
Right.
refrigerator. They didn't put them in like a little temporary cooler refrigerator
Wow.
thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, but just being that it was so difficult to find a seat, and that was like an odd time. Usually, if you eat at an odd time of the day,
Mhm.
it's just not busy, right? It's busy around
Right.
like 12, 1 o'clock.
Right.
Dinner time 5, 6 o'clock,
Mhm.
and then 7. But this was like at like 2:30.
Yeah.
Like why are we not able to find a seat anywhere in this place? And it was just like everyone and then there'd be like one table, but it would only have one chair. And you're like,
I know,
what
because
is going on?
because people were putting the chairs all around. I think that was like one of the biggest drawbacks. Like I think at this point, if you listen to this podcast, you know I have pretty heightened anxiety, and so to go into a place and have to kind of like fight off and hover and just use all your different strengths to find a table to eat, while also making sure your kids are cool and doing okay and getting what they need. It's like I've already spent all my energy on this.
But that was
like
kind
that
of
is
like
not
every
how
quick.
I can do it.
That's kind of like every quick service we went. That was Cosmic Rays. That was even that was backlot.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, besides eating at Typhoon Tilly's at Typhoon Lagoon, that was the only place where we had a seat because we had the cabana that we paid extra for. But yeah, that was just the quick service just kind of has that, right? Because you're not being seated, so you kind of have to like stake out a table and then go get it. I hope they figure out a way to do the like they have in Universal, they call the Quable service, where you sit down,
right?
You scan a QR code, order your food, and then someone brings it out to you.
Right. But it's still like the fight to get the table. Which
Correct.
is like I don't dig that. That's not my jam. Because I'm like also like, yes, you can have the table. Sure, I'll find another I'd be standing there all day if it was just me, like if I didn't have the kid, there's no chance I'd ever get any food ever.
I got you.
I don't know.
All right, so we did that, and I agree with Abby. That favorite snack was the tachos; those were delicious.
Yes, and tachos were great.
I'd go back to that.
Still not enough seating there.
I think quick service, it wasn't too bad though. But anyway,
because you were ordering, I was table serving.
Okay, all right. I was going up to get the food, and you guys were looking for a table as we mobile ordered. And that was one of the things that I think worked for the trip, was the mobile ordering.
Sure. Yeah.
Definitely.
Always.
And we'll get to a little of that in the dining plan part. What was your favorite ride experience?
Ooh. Favorite ride experience.
You want to think while I talk?
Sure. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed I think Tiana's Bayou a little more this time. And then I know I'm not allowed to talk about it. I really enjoyed it during our Halloween or Mickey's Not So Scary experience. That was when I really enjoyed it. But I enjoyed this even a little more. It just felt like we were all there together and having fun and like getting to enjoy it and knowing where the drop was coming, and everyone, like, they had their hands up and all that stuff. I felt like that was a good time. And the kids went down and the drop and Louie and Tiana and all those, I don't know, it was a good time. I'll say my second kind of favorite was going on Expedition Everest with Bailey.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed doing that too.
Yeah.
Because she was so into it. And being that it was a walk on.
Bailey's like our hype girl. I feel like I was going to say, so my two faves, one was actually this time Slinky Dog Dash.
Okay.
I feel we didn't have to wait in like a super long line for it. But like we were all kind of prepared as for last time where we weren't sure who was going to like what. But they were like in it, ready to party for this ride.
Yes.
So,
you know what? Yeah, I'll agree with that.
I really, really like that one. But I also adored going on Tower of Terror with Bailey. I adored it. I adored how into it she was and like how, she's our hype girl. She was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
we'll make sure that Heidi never hears this episode. But anyway,
listen, Heidi is phenomenal for like everything. She's so knowledgeable about all the rides that like she can tell me what's happening at certain points, and I just think that's great.
And I think it's different. And on top of the fact that, and maybe this is clouding our judgment, is that Abby and I were on rides a lot together.
We were, because the two girls want to be together now, so. Kind of funny. We hang.
Kind of funny.
We hang.
What was your least favorite?
Oh yeah, you know what? We didn't even like address that it was our first time for Space Mountain, all of us, and how we really enjoyed that one.
Right? Yeah, that's true.
That was like a full family experience where, like, we weren't sure how everybody was going to react, but they loved it, and it was so great. And now it's a fam favorite. We even went on this past trip again. Anyways.
In the almost complete total darkness.
Yeah, almost.
Okay. What was your do you have a least favorite ride experience?
Oh, not really. I love all the rides, so I didn't have a least favorite. I think I was like even on ones that, what was it? Peter Pan's flight kind of redeemed itself for me. So no, I don't think I had a least favorite.
Okay.
Did you have a least favorite?
I was going to throw into it, and it's weird. I was going to say Haunted Mansion.
Okay.
Because it broke down so much. It felt like.
While we were on it?
While we were on it on our family trip.
Oh, I don't even remember.
Yeah, it felt like it kept.
I feel like that's a norm, actually. Like, that happens.
It happens a lot, but it does happen with those Omni movers that just keep going.
Yeah. But, now that I think of it, Dinosaur, definitely. Like, the kids got off it and were like, never want to go on that again. And I was like, did you guys not remember that that was what you said last year, too? So, Dinosaur sucks.
Oh, boy.
It needs to go.
There we go. All those people that are on the social media that are just saying, I'm going to miss Dinosaur so much. Oh, my God. February is going to be so tough for me next year.
No one's going to miss Dinosaur. Let's just be honest. That's ridiculous.
Dinosaur. All right. Now, this is kind of like a bigger question. Right? What do you think worked best?
Okay. What do I think worked best? I loved the location of our resort. I thought that was really, really good. It wasn't just that we were on the Skyliner. It was that our resort entrance door was on the Skyliner. So it was just so close. Really wonderful.
Yes. And we're talking about the Riviera.
The Riviera
is where we stayed.
Now, and I thought that... what else worked best? I think there are a lot of things we'd want to tweak, so I could talk about that a little bit later.
Okay.
Yes,
that's what we're gonna. Guess what?
Next.
It's coming. It's coming.
But what did you think worked best?
Yeah. See, I really liked for me, it was the addition, and this was our first time using it since the change, was being able to use Lightning Lane MultiPass.
Oh yeah, that was like so smooth.
Yeah.
Everything was smooth.
And it was like to the point where it was so smooth, where it was like towards the end of the day, I was like, I don't really know what else to book right now. Like, I think we booked everything we could book.
Right.
There were
Everything
certain
that was
rides
working.
like Epcot, whatever, because of how we did things. It was we couldn't get on Frozen or Remy's, but that was because of how we chose to park hop that day.
Right.
And because we wanted to get on Test Track, we weren't able to get those rides. But I think everything else like just worked out for us so great.
Yeah.
And then like using the window, the 2-hour window, then the unofficial hour and 59 window after your ride, your Lightning Lane expires, it was just really key.
I saw a post on one of the travel agent websites of somebody asking, like, it's 55 minutes after our pass. Can we still go?
Yeah.
And I didn't say anything, but I was like, listen, if we couldn't, we would have been in a lot of trouble.
You should have said something.
Made it in time.
You should have said something.
There are
That's
a bunch of other
fact.
people who jumped on it.
Okay. All right.
I don't like to get into politics online because people like to fight about it, you know?
Oh.
But we know what's true.
The political nature.
It
is. After the 2 hours afterwards, it's
Disney
political
politics, because somebody's going to do it, and it's going to be like the one day that it doesn't work.
Well,
for them
that's what you always have to put this can change at any moment,
Yeah.
because it's not and really anything that Disney policy can change at almost any moment. But this one being that it's unofficial, it's not listed, like you can't read about this anywhere on the Disney website or under, anywhere, anything they put out.
Mm-hmm.
So that it can definitely change at any time. So it's just one of those things like, all right, it works. I'm doing it.
Yep.
So with that being said, I guess really my next two things were what didn't work and what would you change? So that's kind of like
go together.
Yeah, they kind of go together.
All right. So I really, really missed Epcot.
Mm-hmm.
I really felt like that didn't work for us.
Yeah.
We missed out. I know we were like, we're not going to do the lands. Haha, we're going to do better. That didn't work out. Mm-hmm. I missed going to France. I missed Frozen. I missed the Viking coffee. Mm-hmm. I missed seeing just all the way around the world. So
mm-hmm.
totally bummed about that.
Yes.
I think overall on the trip, this was kind of the first time that I feel like we didn't get to do seconds on rides. And that's kind of a big deal for me. I think the first time I'm always worried about the kids. And so it's the second time that I actually enjoy it.
Okay.
So some of the things I was kind of like, man, I could have done that again. And that would have been awesome too.
Okay.
The trip was too short for sure overall.
Yes.
We need to learn figure out how to elongate our trip. A couple more days there.
We couldn't condense it, and it was kind of just it was a mixture of budget, right? We were trying to stay on a budget. We were trying to
stay in a certain budget,
and also just because we had it in our minds that Animal Kingdom wasn't a full park day. We were like, well, we don't need to spend a full park day to get all these rides done.
But it would have been nice to do them again.
It would have been, we could have done them again and or just hung out and spent some time in there, just kind of enjoying things more. I agree.
Yeah. So I think that bummed me out a little bit. We were on the go a lot more this trip. And so we're always on the go at Disney. And I like being on the go. I'm not like, I don't want to sit on a beach. That's not me. I would have a panic attack doing nothing. So I don't mind being on the go, but I think it was a bit of a detriment.
Okay. Yeah. Right? I think we have an idea of what we want to try to do next year, and we're trying to work that out. Build in a little bit more downtime. For everyone, whether it's in the parks or in the resorts.
Like things like that. We and I think that's something we changed on this most recent surprise trip,
Mm.
is that we spent a lot of resort time. We actually walked around the resort a little bit and went to the shops and got to know it just a slight bit. So
Mm.
that was really nice. Anyways, what about you?
Yeah, I again, this was part, and we talked about this in last week's episode when we were reviewing our Mickey's Not So Scary trip and how I was planning our day. But I would almost say that I think the idea of sitting down for a second meal,
Mm.
I think, like, in that, like, I just don't think we enjoyed the quick service meals
Mm-mm.
enough at all. Like, you, besides chicken teriyaki bowls and things
Right.
like that, like, it was like the kids were like, our kids were just like forced to eat chicken fingers because they're somewhat picky, right? They're a little bit, Bailey's a little bit more, Heidi's really not. You know, they both of them, they have their things, right? And we all do. I mean, I'm not going to go eat like people say there's a lot of good fish options in Disney, and I'm not going to eat any of those, right? Because I don't like them. So we're all picky in a way. But I think it's kind of that. I think it's that quick service meal that always seemed to have kind of like threw us off.
Yeah, it did.
Where it just never felt like it was worth it. But even though you have to eat,
Right.
so kind of the idea of, well, why don't we just stop here and pick up some tachos, or why don't we stop here and get a Mickey pretzel? Why don't we kind of do that sort of thing as opposed to, well, let's grab corn nuggets and walk to our next ride that we're going to wait 20 minutes in line, So I think that takes a little bit of a change because as a family, you're so used to, we eat breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Right. Yeah.
It's not just like we just breakfast, dinner, and we kind of, eat a little bit here and there for lunch. So I think that maybe would have changed, but then again, we were on the dining plan. So
yeah,
it was kind of built into what we were doing.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. So I have a lot of thoughts about whether the dining plan really worked for us, and we can break this out now if you want.
That's what I was kind of leaning into.
Right.
As far as what else, it would change. I don't know. Like you said, I think we do. We kind of did it. Both those parks, our experience, our time in those parks at the service by park hop, and them or splitting them, and it's not being able to come back.
That's not for us
to anything. I think you could do that, but you should have more flexibility.
So let's break it down. Like the appeal of this particular trip and our goal was that we wanted to take part of the Disney discount, the Disney dining plan discount, not the Disney quick service discount, right? So we needed to stay in a superior resort hotel, resort complex, deluxe resort.
Deluxe resort.
I'm like
superior.
Getting there. Sorry.
She's like, it's better than all of you.
In a deluxe resort to get this free dining plan, which is the
all stores.
all stores.
All stores. Yeah. That's
and so we opted to stay less days so that we could somewhat afford the trip. It was still super expensive. So we chose to go from a Monday to a Friday with 3-day park hoppers. That was the minimum amount of park hopper days you could add to your trip would be 3. Had to be park hoppers. And then we stayed Monday through Friday at the resort. We stayed at the Riviera, as you know. And are we sharing the price of what that cost?
Sure.
Riviera. I mean, anybody can look it up.
Sure.
So it was a non-discounted. It was about $5,600, and so that included the dining plan and our park hopping tickets for 4, and then the resort itself with the free water park.
Yes, and that's
option.
But that's for anyone, right? Anyone that stays in a Disney resort at the day of their check-in, they get to go and they could go to a water park for free the day they check in.
Yes, correct.
So, and that's not, you don't need like a package, just if you're staying at a Disney resort, which you're usually going to have a package if you're staying in a resort. But anyway.
So right off the bat, we had to make some decisions about how we're going to do our parks, because usually we take a park per day, and that's what it had allowed us to kind of do a little relaxing in the parks. Not relaxing, but doubling up on some of the experiences and making sure we got everything in.
Yeah.
All right. So where are we at with Rob's beautiful spreadsheet?
Oh,
here?
so we're going to the dining plan. All right. So these are the places that we'll go over, like where we ate, right? So we ate our first quick service meal was at Typhoon Tilly's, in Typhoon Lagoon, right? Yep. And so that came out, that was with including tax, that was $79.34. Things of note is that you get you get a beverage included with your dining plan, but you can also, if you're over 21, you could choose to have an adult beverage, which those typically just cost more, right? I mean, soda is going to be about $4.79. It seems like everywhere you go, and then an adult beverage is going to be like, in the double digits. You're talking 10, 12, or more, depending upon where you are.
Yeah.
So that's where it comes to $7.79. So that was where we had Typhoon Tilly's. We ate at Flame Tree Barbecue for a snack, which was very good, and that was a very nice surprise too. I guess that was a big surprise, eating there and the food there, and then going to that like kind of secret
private
spot in the back.
That was good.
That was a very good experience.
Second day, yep.
So that was 1967. That was for 3 snacks. We went to Connections Eatery. That was where we had our second quick service meal. That was a total of $69.66. I noted that Heidi used a quick service credit because they didn't offer chicken strips in the adult menu.
Yeah, this was a real snag for us.
Yeah, so, but again, because of the fact that she was only eating chicken strips, it was just like, she's like, oh, chicken strips. Okay. So she used that. I both had adult beverages, so the total came to $69.66. Now we're going on to the big menu items. Garden Grill. This was our first table service. It was an all you care to enjoy buffet. Well, it's not buffet style, but it's family style. Family style. That total came to with the 4 of us is $275.04. It came out to, and we also had adult beverages that totaled around $30 each. Yep. Okay. So that does make a difference. The next day we had snacks at Gaston's Tavern. I will tell you this. Well, and every night you're there, you get you get a snack per person. So we had 4 people, 4 nights.
Yes.
Should be 16 snacks. The day we left, the day we were leaving, right, we were checking out, I looked at our dining plan, my Disney experience. You're giving me eyes. What are you giving me? Oh, okay. Everything's right. I was like, wait a minute, is my math wrong? Did I not? No. It's 4 times 14, not 16. It's 4 times 4, not 16. We said we had 5 unused snack credits. And so that's a big, you're losing money, right? Right. Like, and we didn't even do the thing where you go to like the gift shop and then go buy a bunch of snacks. Like we were just kind of like in a fog at that point or something. Like you're just thinking about going home, like whatever it is. It was hot. We were at that pool. It was like very hot for Abby and I because we weren't swimming. We just wanted to leave. So we didn't do that. Now I can't remember. I can only account for 7 of the 16 or the 11 snacks that Disney says we used. So I think we used them all at Gaston's Tavern, or we used the additional 4, but it doesn't make sense to me, and some of our bills don't. Anyway, so now I've kind of gone on that rant for a little bit. Gaston's Tavern, $29.78. That was at least for 4 warm cinnamon rolls, which I ate the majority of because the kids didn't finish it despite their insistence that they would. Now we're going to Crystal Palace, another table service. Looking at it was $265.19, and that was with that's a buffet, right? Character dining buffet. $21 in adult beverages. I just always mark that down. Again, because the soft drinks are included, or whatever, orange juice, whatever else you're drinking. We had Cosmic Rays, which we gave our thoughts on. It was $64.14. No adult beverages consumed because we were just kind of tired and dehydrated. And even though we had Diet Cokes, it was just like I felt like I needed sugar more than I needed alcohol at that point. So, $64.14. Then we went to the next day, Hollywood Studios or Backlash Express. That came out to $75. Again, no adult beverages. The reason being is that because Abby and I had some, I think we had like some rum and Coca-Colas or something on the way over. Or
that sounds about right.
Frozen rum and Coca-Colas drinks. We were walking. It was hot, so we didn't need any more. Maybe are not best use of things, but anyway, so that was $75. Bailey did use because Heidi had used a kid credit. Now we're on our last day of quick service credit, so that means we had an additional adult. So Bailey was able to use that adult quick service, and really all she did was get the adult chicken strips. So it was like really, she's like, I'm gonna, I should have got the sushi or something, which I never saw on any quick service menu, but I'm sure it's there, and I just didn't pay attention.
Yeah.
So she did use that. That was $75 at Backlash Express. Hollywood and Vine. Now, this one's interesting. So Hollywood and Vine, we get the Fantasmic dinner package, right, which gives you exclusive center seating for Fantasmic. Right. So that is a little bit more expensive than a typical Fantasmic meal or typical Hollywood and Vine meal. So we spent, and that was just there was one adult beverage consumed. Our bill came out to $325.89. If we hadn't done the Fantasmic dining, our bill would have come out to $243 plus tax. So, I mean, it's a lot of...
We made good on that one.
We made good on that one. We definitely... That's value. Yeah. That's like using the value of it. So, it's like an extra $80. Those are our parks. We ate at the resort. We ate at Ohana's. That Ohana bill came to $243.89. Right. And that's all you care to enjoy. Again, family style. They just bring the stuff out for you. We had some adult beverages, and they're in the resorts. They're a little bit more pricey too. But they're a little more fancier sometimes. I think I had a sunshine margarita I didn't care for. But anyway, so it was $243.89. Yep. And breakfasts tend to be less expensive than lunch or dinner options too. Yeah. If you're ever doing that.
That makes sense.
So then I also included in the fact that we got the resort refillable mugs. They're $22.99 each. We're 4 of them, so that's $97.94. How do you feel? Like,
oh my God.
We really didn't get a chance to use.
The resort refillable mugs are so silly. Yeah. Because we were just using all of our stuff pretty much for water, and refilling, so we got cold water, but really you could bring your own refillable Ohana or whatever. Yeah. And
just bring a water bottle.
A water bottle and fill it up, because that's the one thing that's for free there.
So I think it was because of the fact that we're going from park open, we're rope drop or very early going on till basically the end of the day. We're not really in the resort, so the kids never really got a chance, except for our last day at the pool is when we came back and were swimming before our flight, where they were able to use and get they were able to get some soda because it was the middle of the day. We're not giving them soda at 11 o'clock at night.
No,
you're out of your mind.
Absolutely not.
But then it was also the resort refillable mugs. I think they're so small on top of it. Oh my gosh,
they're like tiny.
Yeah, they're not... they're really not meant to hold a lot, because they know that, right? They don't want you just filling up on those things all the time. So,
I don't know. I mean,
I don't think they're worth it unless you're getting for free.
Yeah.
Especially because we're just drinking water more often than not. Yeah. Now, mind you, I was going down and filling up everyone's waters before bed. And then I would go down there and I was just chugging a red Powerade. So when I was down, I just fill up, chug, go back, fill up, chug, and then come up and with everyone's stuff.
Well, see, and that would have been beneficial for like to get Powerades and stuff for the girls. But again, at 11 p.m. at night, we are not giving them that. So it would just, if there were refillable drinks in the parks and stuff like that would be like they do in Universal and other places.
That would be more
ideal.
That
would be so ideal.
But they know that it's
a money loss.
You make money. I mean, you make money on drinks. I mean, if you're just charging $5 for a soda, I mean, it probably cost them like 5 cents. They're making a ton of profit on that. The margins are high. So anyway, I include those in because we got them for free. They're part of the dining plan. Yeah. When you get a dining plan, that's what you're part of. So now, mind you, this isn't including the 4 phantom snacks that I can't find value. I don't remember where they were from. So our total came to $1,545.53.
Now, this is not including tips because that was separate. And that's something that I definitely want to say. Yeah. Because it's not, I mean, it's all inclusive, but you've got to do the tips. You got to tip.
So the way it kind of works for anyone asking is that your server comes out and before, you tell them that you're on a dining plan so they know in advance. Before they give you, like once you tell them that you're ready for the check, they come and give you a receipt, just like they regularly would, but it shows you how much it costs, and then it allows you an opportunity to give them a tip because that's what you have to do. You got to tip your servers. Yeah, right? Yeah. So that the total tips, right, of all those tips included, it was like $220 for those 4 table service meals. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that was, so that's something you have to include in that. Again, that's not part of the dining plan, not included. So I didn't include it in the totals, but I didn't note it there.
Yes, you did. You did a great job.
So yeah. So like I said, so it cost us again $1,545.53. Now the dining plan itself would cost for adults it's $97.70, and for a child it's $30.78, and so that's per person per night that you're staying there. Mm-hmm. That's what you would pay for it. Asterisk prices going up like $1 or $2 in 2026. Did you know that?
I didn't know that. That's good information.
But also, I think that's not. Wait, does that include tax? No, I don't think I forget if there's tax on that. Okay. Anyway, we're not going to get into it. It's not going to make that big of a deal. So again, that was we had 3 adults, which now that is a big thing. I think it does need reminding. Heidi, who at the time of our trip was 10 years old, was considered an adult by Disney Dining. Yeah. But like I said, she is not an adult. Meals. No. Especially because it was like mostly just chicken fingers, except for the steak at Topolino's, which I don't even want to get into again. Go over well. And yeah, it just wasn't. It's just not cool Disney. Yeah. It really should be like 14, maybe. Is that when they start eating a lot? Yeah. When you start getting like you're like a hungry teenager.
Yeah. Figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah. But otherwise, it's like 2 or 3 chicken strips and some fries, and they're done. Are you going to charge them as an adult?
So bad. It was so. I don't know. This was such a bad point for us. That she had to eat on the adult meal plan. So for 4 nights. Yes. For all of that, what was the grand total of what it covered?
So it was $293.10 a day for the adults, and it was for each. Obviously, the children, it was $30.78 because there was 1 child, Bailey. Total for 4 nights, everybody involved, comes out to $1,295.52. Mm-hmm. So that shows you, and I didn't do it on here, right, is that we did, if you get the dining plan, we would, you would save $250.
Yeah. Like with this particular
with
setup.
With this particular setup and eating at those places that we ate at. Now, there's I see a lot of stuff online, a lot of different, like reputable Disney experts and their websites and things, and like they just say that it's not worth the dining plan's not worth it. Do we think the dining plan is worth it? I'm gonna say yes, it is, but it's with the fact that you have to have a plan to eat.
Yeah.
And that's not something that a lot of people do or want to think about, really. Besides, you do make Disney dining reservations.
Yeah.
Usually 60 days in advance because they're hard to get. But you don't really want to think about it anymore outside of that. So like kind of planning quick service meals and thinking about you using your snacks, like it takes an additional thought process that maybe you don't want to deal with on vacation.
Yeah.
Because it kind of makes it feel like you're at home and it's Abby trying to plan our week's, menu, what we're going to feed the kids when we come home.
Which is always ridiculous.
And it is. And I applaud her for doing all the great cooking that she does. But so it does take some planning, but there is value in it. Like, I mean, the numbers are the numbers, right?
Right. So, like, yes, slight value, but that $250 we spent on tips that we saved. So,
yeah, no, that's true. So if you factor that in, but you would have, even if you ate at those table services, you were tipping anyway. I'm just not including them in the total calculations. Yeah. So I don't necessarily know. Now, mind you, was that the only places we ate? Or was that the only times we ate? No. There was other things. There were churros. A lot more. Yeah, there were churros. And like I said, the tachos weren't included because some, certain snack items aren't included because they're too expensive, I guess. It's only like really up to like, I'd say like around $7.50, maybe at the top, maybe $8. There's some other exclusions on that, things that are included. But the majority of them, the snacks, the expensive food items by themselves can't be used as a snack credit. So I think there is still value in that. And I just don't understand, but I think it's like, if you don't want to worry about charging. Now, I think if you just budget for food, if you put aside a certain amount of money, you're like, well, this is going to cost this much. I think then it's like, you could just do that. Right. And then just eat. Yeah. And you're going to take these meals and you're going to take whatever table service meals you are. And then kind of, you have a little more freedom in how you're going to eat. Now, this plan in general was a promo, right?
Yes.
For us. So that's the reason that we wanted to try it, as opposed to taking any of our, agent discounts.
Right.
And going that way. Now, maybe we should have. I didn't look at what we would have saved using our agent discounts versus.
And we can't actually technically discuss that. So,
so we're not going to discuss that. And I think it would have, I don't know, whatever. But this is what we would have saved. This is what we did save in eating. So we saved about $1,500.
Yep.
Now at the time, I believe that there was like either a 25 or a 30% room discount.
Yes.
Off of that, which we told you it was like $5,600, but that was including tickets, and that's like a package and park hopper, so it's kind of hard to break down in that sense. But this was essentially $1,500. It's about 30% off.
Yeah,
the room.
So that's a great point too.
Yeah, is that it's something to look at. So I think it's worth doing if you're getting it free. You're getting it as a discount. It's worth doing. There is value in it, and purchasing it on its own.
Yeah.
But I would still say it's not for everyone.
I agree. I think, what I would love to like explore is if we did the meal plan again, looking at more of the restaurants that they had in Epcot, right? If we're doing like park hoppers and whatnot, Epcot and around the world, in the lands and stuff, there's all sorts of different kinds of restaurants that, you've never been to, the kids have never been to, like Les Cellier or like any of the Canadian restaurants.
I'm never bringing a kid to Les Cellier.
I feel
never happening.
I just feel like there's so much to explore in there that we have not done. and on a meal plan that might be more doable, maybe. Maybe
Okay.
not. I don't know.
I think it's if you have the time and you have the like if we were staying again at the Riviera, which I would have no problem staying at again.
Mm-hmm.
Staying at the Riviera, which is a Skyliner resort,
Mm-hmm.
a quick Skyliner stop. I think it's worth it, right? Especially to Epcot, it's very close, so it's just one stop away from Epcot.
Mm-hmm.
You could definitely, and you had park hop tickets, and you had several days. Like you could essentially eat every your dinner at Epcot
all the time.
You could just go there and be like, all right, well, I'm going to go to Epcot. We're going to eat, and then we're going to go back to the hotel.
Right.
Okay.
Yep. I think that would be a really ideal kind of trip for us. Yeah.
Let's see it. Now, mind you, the stuff around the world is going to be a little bit more, right? It's a little bit more maybe adventurous choices for the kids per se.
Sure.
So I don't know. I have to see if that would work. I don't know if there's different versions. Countries offer different chicken strips. There's lead chicken strips in France when we go to La Halle's, which has good, but doesn't accept the dining plan. So anyway, yeah. So I don't know. I think the dining plan was there.
Yeah. I agree in certain ways. I think that because we weren't like huge on quick service, maybe we need to think about having like more of like a bigger breakfast. Because I felt like, doing our little breakfasts in the room perhaps was too little for someone like me. Like I like doing like the protein and the eggs in the morning. So maybe using a quick service on that. And then as we're going around the parks, just figuring out certain things. He's shaking his head.
Drops the value. No.
I don't know.
I know.
That's just how I would probably do it, and then have like that big sit down lunch, and then figure out dinner on the fly. I'm not really sure, but yeah, we'll see.
People kind of said, and they were like, "Well, take the price of the dining package and put it and buy it Disney gift cards, and then just use that to eat." That kind of gives you a budget, which
I guess, but budgets are broken all the time. This keeps you in a budget. That's true.
I mean, again, we spend a lot more than that. Just you're including gifts and all that stuff. Anyway, it was a great. I still enjoyed our trip, despite us wanting a little bit more time.
Yeah.
I enjoyed our time together. There was a lot of laughs. There were a couple tears for me, especially when after I realized I filmed the Starlight Parade in slow motion. That happened. It was a little bit different trip for me because of that. We purchased a gimbal, and so we were trying to actually film a lot of stuff, a lot of rides, experiences that we had. So it did feel a lot like working for me.
Yeah,
absolutely. And then because I'm not like the person that we have like two phones, so I had to keep like recording and then going to check the My Disney Experience app like in between things, and then you're trying to do other stuff, and you're like, but you want to be here with the kids, and that's the main thing. So it was a lot of that.
Absolutely.
I still enjoyed it. Still enjoyed our time. Water park. Would you do that again? Would you do a water park?
Yeah. Would I go in the tidal wave pool?
No.
If it's offered for free, for sure.
I don't know if I would.
Even if it was offered for free,
I still don't know if it would, because I think we would have enjoyed it less if we didn't have a cabana to come back to.
True. I think the cabana was ideal. And also, we have to really start admitting to ourselves that it wasn't free, because we came in a whole day early and spent like $200 on a hotel room, just so that we could, with our flight in and everything, just so that I think a lot of it has to do with like
people that are able to drive in. It's like, I don't know, if you're able to like kind of work it in a little differently,
like get there early and stuff.
Anyway, I couldn't remember. So last week we had, so that's kind of our roundup of the trip, right? It's kind of, is there anything else that you could think of? Anything you want to add into it?
No, I mean, I think the general thought process is that we need to go a little bit longer. But Park Hopper would work out for us on this longer scenario. Yes.
Ideally. But also, I think longer in one day could also work too.
So basically, we just need to win the lottery.
We just need longer trips. Budget wisely.
All right.
Tell the
Anyways,
kids they can't do stuff. So they did have D23 last week,
yes.
right? Destination D23.
So underwhelming. Everybody that talks to me about it, except for one person that at work was like, "We signed up so we could go next year." It was so great, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
So that's D23 Expo in Anaheim,
right?
Okay, so that's a big difference. We're East Coast people, so going down.
Yep.
And so that should be the bigger one, but I still don't know. Look, we can't expect to have we did talk about last week and the expectations of it.
Yeah.
Having everyone had these we're going to get huge Disney news every year, and it's just impossible. They're already expanding. Magic Kingdom is getting so built up. And so many different refurbishments and all this stuff. And then they got Disneyland. Like a ton of stuff happened over at Disneyland. Like what other announcements are we expecting from them?
I don't know.
So I don't know. When they came out with it, it was just that there's going to be a Walt statue in front of the Carousel of Progress, or before. I think it's going to bookend before and after.
Okay.
And so that's going to Carousel of Progress, which again is something that the kids and also I have never been on. It's going to be closed for a while. The dogs are getting crazy here. They're like, end this thing already. And then the other thing is that the other big news was that the Cinderella's Castle is going back to its original look. Right. Well, it's going to be more of the lighter blue, I think it is, right? You know colors more than me.
Exactly.
Okay. So that was definitely nothing to get excited about. They talked about just the art style of Villains Land, which, come on. Mm-hmm. That was really, I get it. Imagineers, happy for you. But yeah. That wasn't really anything to write home about. Right. Or to tell us about. So I would have been upset if we went to D23 and that was all they had.
Exactly. It would have been such a letdown. Yeah. So I don't know. Not too big of the news there.
Okay. So the one big thing, when I was just studying I was going over all of the dining plan stuff today. I was looking at menu prices and so on and so forth and just double checking some things. I went to the Hollywood and Vine, and I'll get into this in a second. I noticed something. Now, if for those that aren't aware, in Hollywood Studios, Animation Courtyard is being refurbished. Yeah. Everything except for the Little Mermaid show that just opened. is going away. So all the Star Wars launch bay and the Disney Junior plane, whatever they call it. So all the Disney Junior characters. Yes. So at Hollywood and Vine, and that's starting on September 25th is when those things are closing. Okay. Soon, in a couple weeks. Yeah. So in Hollywood and Vine, as if you take a breakfast at Hollywood and Vine, if you go and have their breakfast buffet, it's for lunch and dinner you get the Minnie and her friends. Yeah. But for breakfast you get Doc McStuffins and who else was it? I don't even want to say the wrong names or something. I know there was like a guy, I think he had his name was like Jose, built things. I don't remember. Manny, Handy Manny or something like that, which kind of sounds a little weird. Handy Manny. Oh, what? That might even not be his name. Might just somebody I knew in high school. Oh boy. Anyway, so so beginning October 2nd, Minnie Mouse and her friends will appear at breakfast for mini seasonal dining. Oh. So it seems like the Disney Junior characters are just going away, being that the Disney Junior area in the Animation Courtyard is being demolished. Okay. So they're no longer going to be there.
All right. So we're moving on. That's crazy.
Yeah. So I experienced their breakfast. I went a long time ago with my Lando. Hey.
Landy. Listen, our pets are going absolutely insane right now.
So we got to finish it up. I did attend that at some point, Doc McStuffins and all those things. Because my nieces at the time were really into that, and so they really enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. Or my niece at the time enjoyed it. But now they're gonna get you're just gonna get Minnie and those people.
Yeah.
You get Minnie and friends.
All
So Minnie, Pluto, Goofy, and Mickey.
Okay. All right. I get it.
And their seasonal gear. Right? So I don't know.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it's nice to see like different characters being used, but now they're gonna go away. So I don't know. It's kind of breaking news, but also everyone's like, oh, who cares?
Okay.
It's like D23. All right. So I think that's it. We've done our wrap up.
Whoa.
And
So
she's
sorry.
all about that bass.
That was my cell phone. Sorry, guys. Hey, thanks for hanging in here. I know this was like a long-winded episode where we really wanted to explain kind of the ups and downs of this trip. We did it a little differently. We knew that things were going to be different, and we've come out at the end having opinions about our next trip. So, which I might have already started planning. Anywho, guys, thank you so much for hanging in with us here at the Disney Hour Express. We hope you've enjoyed it. We've got a lot of new things coming and new ideas, so stick around with us over the next month or so as we transition into some new roles. Okay, have a great week.
This has been a Family Travel Planner production.